Prepare for battle.
Prepare for battle, guys. We are in the real game. Nothing happened. That was not an issue with Perfect World not showing the lobbies. Oh, sir. That was a nice normal load-in. After a nice normal Captain's Mode draft, we have ourselves Super in a really weird spot already, because he's going to cut through to see demons. Flyby is kind of in the area, but you know, he's fine in July. The heavy is here. Let's see who's going to be playing what before anyone starts fighting. Paparazzi is on the Weaver bottom, very comfortable with that hero. Dogfights is on the Treant. We got Cicada on the Lina, pressuring the Rune. It's in July. They are going to deward this area completely. That does not look like it's in range, but so be it, Volvo. In July's on the Centaur. We got Super on the Warlock. His hard work all going down the tubes. On the other end, September is on the Batrider. Nick Sasson played by June. Invoker handling, Shade handling the Invoker. Flyby is on the Ember Spirit, and that leaves Demons on the Witch Doctor. This sentry right here, the most value sentry you're ever going to see. That's for damn sure. And it looks like going into the lanes, it's pretty much going to be exactly what you would expect. Safe lane is actually fairly dangerous here. Ember Spirit usually doesn't have that much threat, but when you do have an Assassin hanging around, if he does not end up going down towards the bottom lane, he does have boots first, so expect a little bit of a roaming play from this Nyx. Just stun to stun into chain, or you know, in some way, shape, or form. Very dangerous, although he is going to hang around bottom. Saw this earlier as well. Nyx Batrider dual lane? Is that really dangerous? Not really sure if Vitality are going to be really worried about that. We already see the Weaver ready for the Batrider matchup with the Magic Stick. It's going to be pretty nice up against the Nyx Assassin as well. I would expect dogfights with his first little bit of gold. If his plan really is to stick around this bottom lane, to be going for very much so the same. He actually hasn't gone for the guys, just Leech Seed level 1, which is actually going to be kind of nice to get for right now, but there's Sentry on the floor, so Nature's Guise is not incredible. But he is playing what looks like a very old school Treant Protector, like pre-rework on the Nature's Guise Treant Protector, at least for the first level. But yeah, level 2 into the Living Armor, into the Nature's Guise rather, with a Sentry Ward already down. And the fact that he's playing like a pure support, just trying to punch out a Nyx, it doesn't really work all that well. Despite how much damage Treant Protector does have, Nyx Assassin has quite a bit of armor, has an insane amount of regen, so he will be able to shrug off those right clicks like nobody's business. This bottom lane is going to be a slugfest for sure. But speaking of slugfests, Invoker Lina getting into a little bit of a fist fight over in mid. Again, you would expect the Lina to have a slight edge in this matchup, but Invoker with the Quas runes, that slow regen may just make the difference here. You get a little bit of a CS lead as the Invoker, get a couple of extra levels in that Exhort. Makes top lane a lot more dangerous, but you know, also just makes last hitting a lot easier. It hits the Lina, Dragon Slave, LSA threat is definitely more relevant than anything that Shade has to throw at her, right now at least. But it may just end up equalizing the lane if he ends up trading really well. And oh my god, it's going to be top lane. They kill off Flyby? How? Okay guys, I'm going to play the It's 3 AM card and I don't have any coffee. I'm just going to go ahead and play that right now. I only get one per day, and that's my one. But yeah, Flyby is not supposed to die in this lane. The Warlock doesn't really have a lot of kill power. Now, who might die right now is Cicada. Cast the land. There's a Sunstrike here. It will be off the mark, though. Shade had to invoke it before he was ready to go. Had the Forge Spirit beforehand. Now they're going to land an Impale on the Treant bottom. Even if he did have guys right now, Firefly will get rid of all of that jazz, so dogfights will fall in the bottom lane. I missed the gank over in mid, but getting a pretty easy one on dogfights. And this Batrider, pretty nice little start here. Level 3, pushing 4 with a full-on dual lane. Shade, oh, almost dead. He's got a salve. He has a shared tango. He's got Quas runes. He'll be fine. Yeah, but Batrider's early game, something that is sometimes just really difficult to handle well as the Bat. Get a kill here and there, though, off of a hero that really can't defend himself very well, only a level 1 hero. And suddenly you're looking at a much better time. Now, you will not pretty much ever be able to kill off Paparazzi, not unless you have level 6 on the Batrider. Then at least it's possible. But until that happens, they're going to jump right in. Spike Carapace will slow down dogfights. They will kill Paparazzi? No way! I just said it was impossible, and they will do it. He got stunned up by the Impale, then chain stunned by the Spike Carapace while sitting in Firefly. That was a gross misplay there by the iG.V squad. Not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. Super on top in the meantime. He's maledicted, and I think that should kill him, and it will. CDEC are gaining kills top and bottom. Maybe not having the best time over in mid, but the Invoker is actually out CSing the Lina with a couple denies. And is, yeah, maybe running low on regen. Does have to worry about this magic damage, LSA, into Dragon Slave into right clicks, but man, this is a lot more successful than it really should be. June's got an Invis Rune. Ghetto Vendetta right there. Now here comes the Sunstrike. Sakata's gonna land LSA onto the Invoker. Dragon Slave there as well. Shade's still alive though, has a magic wand. One more right click is what Sakata needs. Can't get it. Gets nighttime visioned. And now Demons will swoop in for a kill that he definitely earned. Dogfight's gonna show up, but can't do anything here either. Wow, 4-1 for CDEC. And that wasn't really what I would call a misplay from the Lina, as much as it was a misplay from Paparazzi in the bottom lane. But Sepp is having such a great time on the Batrider. Like, the reason why I said Batrider isn't really a good hero is because usually this off-lane Bat is just so much worse than this. But the fact that there isn't really enough pressure on him because Warlock being within July means that he can stick around in the lane. He's actually getting a full lane's worth of experience with no hassle whatsoever. The enemy support is not really a great hero at poking. Treant Protector is melee. And if you try to go for a Batrider seriously, you won't have an escape path through Nature's Guise because of the Batrider's tendency to burn things. I'll try to go for the Weaver one more time with no lasso. See, that's what I was expecting, right? Like, Weaver will just Shikuchi out. You can't chain stun him enough without that lasso. But if you use Spike Carapace offensively, you never know. And this is mostly within the context of no Sunstrike. Sunstrike can definitely change things on such a low health hero. Ember Spirit's already 6 in the meantime. Sepp should be closing on that mark very quickly as well. iG.V, their top lane is actually doing very well. You're dual laning with a Centaur and a Warlock. You damn well better be winning that lane. If you're not, you're in a lot of trouble. There's going to be a quick stampede up as well. But this bottom lane situation is kind of a mess. Support Nyx just throwing out Impales. Whatever works, man. Whatever works. Again, I haven't seen Nyx in days of casting because he's always first banned. Dogfights. Does finally have that Nature's Guise 1-1-1 on the Treant Protector. He's been chilling in this bottom lane the entire time. Paparazzi. He's going to be going up against 2 disables soon enough. And of course, the second disable is great just for having another disable to just do more Firefly damage. But a lasso, unlike an Impale and unlike a Spike Carapace, actually lets you get a guaranteed Sunstrike setup. So that's even more extra damage this time coming from the mid lane. Sakata is going to dodge anything. It's happening over towards mid for right now, but he will not expect the second rotation in. They never expect it to happen twice. Here comes an Assassin. What tower? He doesn't give a shit about a tower. There's the Impale. There's the Rock to drop, although she is going to get stampeded out a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Maledictus is going to hit pretty hard. Shade will end up falling. But we'll make it a 1-for-1 trade. June looking to Sudoku in the creeps, and we'll get it. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Invoker gets the experience off of that Lina kill, and Lina gets nothing. Nice little play there. Plus they pull out the Centaur Stampede, which means that Batrider getting kills is going to be a lot easier. Now, doesn't have his lasso. No Weaver in the lane anyway. Went for 3-0-3. I think that's perfectly fine. This Batrider's off lane is so good for him right now. And the Centaur is like pretty much having a safe lane experience in the off lane. Weaver's having a tough time. Much tougher than he really should. I mean, Magic Wand charges in the Weaver. Of course, you always will have Shikuchi and time-lapse mana, but as far as like actively harassing with Shikuchi, it's definitely not as good as like having infinite mana on some other heroes, like an Ember Spirit or something like that. Or a Juggernaut. Always have infinite mana for spins because you're getting it fueled up by napalm. That's the dream right there. Sep is going to be jumped on a little bit. Courier will take a pretty big hit, but only one big hit. We'll survive. Now June is actually getting some free time to farm up top. Ember Spirit is off jungling. Not exactly a fast jungler, this guy, though he does have a Quelling Blade. Stacks and burn him down at the same time is very, very slow with how the jungle works nowadays. So, yeah, they really want the Vendetta mark up. Once you get the Vendetta, it of course makes the Invoker a lot more powerful. So it is probably in the long run worth it, but what you would rather be doing right now as the Ember Spirit is not jungling, going around and killing things with level 10. Like, by around this time, maybe another minute in the last game, the Ember Spirit had level 10 Veil. He's getting there. He's very close. But you don't really want to be just passively farming as Ember Spirit because it is so slow. Their smoke will be blown. They will see a Centaur and Super both. There's the Cask and the Maledict. Sunstrike is coming in. Kablammy. That would have gotten the kill with the Maledict. Actually, Demons did get the kill with the Maledict, I think. Might have been a right click. Either way, they kill off a Centaur. Get the Nyx Assassin a little bit of blood, and hey, look at that. He hits level 6 off of that kill. These timings are working out incredibly well for CDEC. And I want to say that the first Vendetta is going to go in towards this Lina. A hero who's having probably a much better time than she should have. I mean, CDEC don't really have much to do against this Lina in the mid lane, necessarily. Their supports just don't really do that. But now that they have a support with a little bit of assassination power, Lina is a very, very easy hero to kill off. Just Vendetta gank her. As long as you don't miss the Impale, you land the Sunstrike and you get the kill. This Vendetta, though, number 1, is going to be spotted on the incoming. That Observer Ward for the Radiant, not working out fantastically well for June. We'll see a Weaver retreating, and that's about it. But keep in mind, there is still a Batrider in this game. It seems like iG.V may have forgotten that there's 3 lanes in Dota. No one's on bottom. No one can really significantly challenge the Batrider outside of Lina Weaver, and they kind of have their hands full. Oh, In July actually is going to get jumped by the Vendetta. Stuck around for too long, and here comes the sun. Skittles, baby. And June is going to be jumped by Paparazzi right now. But he already got the kill, so even if he dies, it's not a big deal, and I don't think he's gonna die. Leech Seed doesn't do that much damage. The Courier will fall. It doesn't have anything on it, though, so no one really cares. Demons is going to be jumped on by the Weaver and will be brought down. Flyby still roasting him. What is this pop-up that I'm... Did I join a party by accident? That's the admin. I had trouble getting into the lobby. I'll see if that's gonna be a problem later on. Shade's gonna pick off Cicada, but over in topside, Flyby and Paparazzi, they will both run away from one another. Sep still is getting the time of his life. Drums first into Blink, and after all is said and done, it is gonna be a 2-for-2 trade, but a snipe on the Centaur in exchange for a Witch Doctor, and then mid lanes, pretty much a wash. June's once again on the hunt. Sunstrike is not here though. If it was, Paparazzi definitely a viable target, but he's going to walk into 3 heroes. They know he's there. He knows that they know. He's going to spike Carapace onto 2, Impale onto 2 as well as the Sunstrike. Invoker just comes back up. They pop the Weaver, and now they're going to kill off the Treant. Cass going to go in towards Super, towards Cicada, who just wants to get a support kill. Demons, well, actually, no, it's going to be the Nyx Assassin to fall in favor of Cicada, but now he's going to have to go up against Flyby and Demons. And he will back off, I think. No, Flyby has another Remnant jump. It will land, does some damage. Chains are there as well. Cask, Coconut in the face, and the Death Ward. That is a little bit unnecessary, but a kill's a kill. Lina to fall, and Invoker in the meantime just chilling over in mid. I say that, he's going to get jumped by a Centaur and a Weaver. Did I just kill the Invoker? I think I may have just killed him. I'm sorry, man. That was an accident. But again, it seems like iG.V are constantly forgetting that there is a Batrider in this game. He has done pretty much nothing so far, outside of just stay in his lane. No rotations. Everyone else seems to be fending for themselves pretty well. Mid lane tower is going to be picked off. no deny attempt in sight. No range heroes to do it. But Sep is going to be pretty stacked once he actually decides to start playing the game. He'll have drums blink 16 minutes in, something like that. What the hell do you do at that point as iG.Vitality? Your defensive tool in living armor does pretty much nothing up against Firefly. Batrider's got all the DPS in the world. Quick DPS, short ticks. It's not gonna get the drum nor the blink dagger before he leaves this bottom lane. Not much for him down there. I would really like to see him get those items before he actually makes a relevant play up towards top. Sentry gonna be spotted out, so they know that there's someone there. Weaver now chained down. They see him with another sentry. Here comes the Impale and the Sunstrike. Overgrowth is great. Stomp, even better. Warlock Golem gonna drop as well. Is there enough damage? They already used most of their burst. That means everyone from CDC is just gonna walk out of there. They do pull back in July. He does have a barrier from the hood, so he should be fine. Cask gonna bounce through on only heroes, it looks like. Flyby's back in, looking for a Centaur. They at the same time get on top of the Lina and kill her off as well. And now from the trees, it's Shade. He'll drop a rock on the Warlock and kill him off. The Warlock Golem will also fall, getting nothing. Off into the side, it's dogfights. Run away, man, run away. Dodge the Impale. Well, now he's pretty darn screwed. Hopefully he can go invis. Hopefully for him there's demons. Wow, Maledict, okay. That works. 5-0 wipe. That was iG.Vitality using their chaotic offering, but getting absolutely nothing with it. As a Centaur, it doesn't get any better than that. You jump in, 3-man hoof stomp, 3-man double edge. Feels amazing, man. But there's just not enough follow-up. Well, that was the slowest reaction time I've ever seen in my life. But there's just no follow-up. The Lina was not there in time. The chaotic offering, was deployed, but as far as actual damage is concerned, no one really there to do it. A 3-man LSA Dragon Slave, that would have cleaned house. That would have just demolished CDEC, but now CDEC have a Batrider who's level 13, which is disgusting 16 minutes in. With the Blink Dagger drums and with a little bit of Bloodlust, he wants to get some kills, and he's going to find a haste rune. I mean, sure, play well, get rewarded, right? Ice Frog giveth, and Ice Frog not yet taketh away. He's going to fly in towards dogfights. And the Death Ward, Sunstrike available if they need it. They don't need it. Centaur's going to jump in though. Dogfights will survive for a little while longer. They'll lose the Nyx Assassin in a 1-for-1 trade. Flyby is here as well. I don't know how Flyby got in here, but he's going to jump in regardless. Double edge onto 2. Once again, pretty good value from In July. Demons going to try to juke into the trees, but he doesn't have a TP, so he's dead here. He's going to run away and die alone, abandoned by his allies. Maybe a little bit of a overestimation of Death Ward's damage. If they had a Sunstrike, could have immediately popped the Treant Protector, but I mean, the reinforcements were there already for iG.V. Not exactly the most glorious display of a Blink Dagger this early on from Sep, but hey, he'll have more chances, that's for sure. Centaur on his tail, but he will blink because he has to dodge the Firefly. The bugs do land, so they do see Sep, but they're running in fire. It hurts. And In July is therefore going to have his Blink Dagger canceled for a long time. Now he does have it. June looking for Spike Carapace is going to get it, so that stuns up the Centaur, but the double edge still lands onto Sep. Will end up killing him off with the Weaver, who does get maledicted. Flyby looking for something to jump on, but he can't really see that much. Paparazzi going to go pretty deep. Double edge is really good again from the Centaur, but they both get chained down. They get Sunstruck, or at least the Centaur will. Flyby's going to jump in one more time. A great Impale from June. Will catch the Warlock and end up killing off the Weaver as well. That's going to be 3 for 2 over in bot. Flyby getting a hell of a lot of benefit off of that. And keep in mind, this is also with an Invoker who's chilling in the meantime in his own jungle. Just farming up with that Hand of Midas. Just playing his own game. Nyx Assassin value Impale. Doing a lot for CDEC. And this Ember Spirit is just running around without pretty much anything to worry about. I mean, these type of fights, these run and gun fights, definitely fights where you want Lina so she has that stuns off. The Laguna Blade, the Ember Spirit, but I don't think there's enough damage here. Yeah, he's just going to jump out. A little bit of extra Veil survivability does go a long way up against those right clicks. And of course, Poor Man's Shield. And the fact that he's level 16, 18 minutes in, that also doesn't hurt. Centaur is going to try to get... Oh, it's over to mid. The Weaver towards Shade, but he can't quite get him before the reinforcements come in. Shade survives. They're going to drum up. Look for someone else. Don't really know if there's anyone here. June will actually go straight towards Super. Run into a Warlock. Warlock stops running. He's pretty screwed. Are they really going to look to defend this? Tower's already dead. Living armor is good, but not that good. Demons has a death ward. They just use their lasso, so there's really nothing here for CDEC. This Weaver is having a rough time. Very infrequently do we see Weavers on the bottom of the cores. It seems like his contribution is nowhere near that of June's Nyx. These Impales have been landing, I think, 100% success rate so far. If it's not 100, it's definitely close. CDEC are pulling pretty far ahead, just like momentum-wise. Back towards Lina, though. She's the type of hero you want to have in those running gun fights. Doesn't seem like Sakata's ever really in those engagements. And the bottom lane engagement was a dive past the tier 1. You don't want your Lina in that, as she doesn't have any mobility. But it seems like Sakata has had just a pretty rough time finding herself in the engagements after her allies have been mostly dealt with. It's maybe a... you attribute that to the clean initiations performed by the Bat, performed by the Nyx. To some extent, performed by the Ember Spirit as well. He's been doing a pretty good job starting those fights. Dog fights? Don't go up there, man. It's dangerous. It will eventually be a gem on some of these heroes. Sentry drops. They are still spotted, or at least Sep is. This is Bat Rider's home turf right here. There is an overgrowth, which they should have to expend. They'll stun him up first. Leech Seed as well. They will overgrow and try to kill him off with Paparazzi. Stampede is there. They'll take down the Bat Rider off in the back, though. Jump in onto 2 heroes. The Weaver very weak, but will time lapse a lot of that back. The Laguna play for the Witch Doctor kill. So far, really good fight so far from iG.V. Up towards the north, June is getting chased down by everyone and their mom. He will spike Carapace, try to go for Paparazzi, but he still doesn't have enough. Flyby still alive. Still with a couple of jumps in, but gets stomped first thing. Chain stun, where is it? It's a little bit too far. The Lina, again, not in position. Sunstrike will end up killing off the Centaur, and now Flyby is on the run. Although I don't like his odds here. He'll sleight a fist for a long time, but still end up falling. Super survives. Invoker, the only one left. CDEC clustering up a little bit too much in a super narrow corridor. You still have an Invoker with almost maxed out Wex. So EMP Tornado is going to hit pretty darn hard. Sunstrike, Scout, they have a Death Ward, they have a Cask, they'll throw in a Meteor. Bat Rider's back in, but the Weaver... And now Shade slowed down by the Diffusal Blade. They will jump in, lasso onto the Lina, impale her as well as Flame Break just for the damage over time. In fact, they'll get the kill. Super is chilling with the upheaval in the meantime, but they've taken down the Weaver, Demons, and Shade. Trying to go for Paparazzi for real now. Chain Stun from the Cold Snap is permanent. They get the kill. That was ridiculous. Super now on the run over in the south. Stampede out. I don't know if that's going to work. Although the Centaur himself comes in. LSA onto 2. They're going to bowl them both over with the Lina combo. In the meantime, it's Dogfights who finds a Witch Doctor. I don't think you could do this by yourself. Where's the help? He's going to try to get into the trees, but they already know there's a sentry there because Weaver got killed off earlier. Now Sakata going to try to go for Witch Doctor, but got jebaited as Flyby returns. Actually does get the kill, but after she dies, projectile in the air will get the kill for the Lina. After all is said and done, pretty much everyone dies at least once. Actually, I think the Invoker survives all of that. He gets an absolute crap ton of golden experience. Level 19 at this stage. Flyby does return for pretty big benefit, as does the Bat Rider and Nyx, but overall, they've dealt with the Weaver through his double life, which is so hard to do with just 2 heroes especially. And a low-level Cold Snap. He only had like 3 points in the Quas. That's surprising how much stun duration they had there. Paparazzi may get jumped here, but he will actually just cleanly get out of there. They do grab him, but they waste the Sunstrike already. Can they still kill him off? He has a time lapse. He can run away. There's a tornado kind of in the area. Actually, no, there isn't. There's no mana. Weaver will slip out of there. That's the problem with Nyx Assassin versus Weaver. Like, if the Weaver is on the ball, the Weaver only really has one button to push, then usually you just miss your initiation. You gotta impale out of Vendetta. And then you may run out of damage. It really is gonna be close. Still CDEC working with quite a bit of momentum. Ember Spirit with the Lincoln Sphere. Quite nice to have up against iG.V. Much better than certain Morphling games. Cicada will TP in, join a 5-man smoke. No Stampede for a little while, but they have the Chaotic Offering. They have a pipe on In July. They have a decent angle on Sep and Demons, though not quite enough yet. Now the reveal of the smoke, it will be only Demons caught. It gets 4 stats out from that initiation. Just get a little bit more distance, gets a Maledict onto the Centaur. Impale goes wide, but still ends up stunning the Warlock, which is pretty good. In July, in a lot of trouble. That Maledict should kill him off. It will. Jumping from Flyby. Who does he want? North? South? It's going to be the North. They want the Lina. And she's going to get leashed down. Sunstrike there, and she'll immediately kill herself. Everyone else will back out. The iG.V initiating on CDEC. It seemed like what happened was the complete reverse. Batrider, quick fingers with that Force Staff, saving that Witch Doctor. Pretty slick play. Sep has definitely been on the ball today. Now looking at a little bit more. CDEC didn't really use a lot, and they'll find the tree. Like I said, it's just a matter of time before the gem is picked up and the treant's life just turns absolutely miserable. Delina as well as the Weaver, both of whom have invisibility. It's not too hard for iG.V to kill off this Batrider, but until they do, this gem is going to be really difficult to deal with. Tower. Pushed in the meantime, top only a tier 1. You have Invoker farming bottom lane still in the meantime. Level 21 on this hero is getting pretty freaking crazy. CDEC's scaling is not really the greatest, but having effectively dealt with the Weaver, there's really not that much they have to fear from the iG.V side. Like, the Centaur is actually surprisingly farmed, despite having so many deaths. But he's just not doing enough damage. I mean, that's not what Centaur does, right? Like, he's not a damage hero, but he's farmed. Lina's having trouble doing damage as well, because it always seems like she's not really in the right place. Of course, you attribute that to initiation, to Batrider just displacing heroes. So it's not really her fault necessarily. But her damage seems like it's kind of slow to come out, because CDEC are playing very well. And speaking of Lina, better teleport, and it's too late. There's a gem here, so Shadow Blade will do a whole lot of nothing. Ripperino. 17-30 CDEC on a really nice tempo plan with their Nyx and the Batrider. Core Batrider does have the inherent problem of not really being a real late game hero. But Invoker is approaching that late game, at least for himself, very quickly. 22 now. Flyby is working with a lot of farm as well. Once Pipe BKBs come up on the team of iG.V, which is already up on the Weaver, should be coming up soon on the Lina if she ever survives enough to farm, then CDEC will have a much tougher time. Again, they are predominantly magic based. But not happening just yet. So it will still be CDEC with the run of the map until that does actually happen. Cicada's going to arrive, and everyone from CDEC going to get out of there. No real reason for them to be pushing anything right now. They don't really want to fight iG.V in their base. They want iG.V to spread out. That's where CDEC are at their strongest when they're dealing with a lot of single targets. That's where Sunstrike and Batrider become ridiculous. And Flyby as well. And Nyx Assassin. Well, pretty much everyone. It is actually everyone. June thinking about Vendetta-ing in. There's no gem, I don't think, on iG.V's side. Protection dispersed throughout these heroes, actually. But they're all 5-manning around. And getting Lina farm is important, but I mean, the Invoker able to contribute without being there. At this point, should be in the fights, but still has that Hand of Midas, so able to get a lot of acceleration out of that so far in this game. Oof, June. That was a random Dragon Slave that hit him. Is that the only Hand of Midas in this game? No. It wouldn't be Chinese Dota if we didn't have everyone picking up Hand of Midas. It's actually only 2. I don't mind Hand of Midas on the Treant. I feel like if you turn him into a very aura-based supporty type hero, like get the Solar Crest for the Shine, get all those auras from like Vlad's and Force Staff, all those utility items really, then it definitely makes the hero a lot more potent. But doesn't have it yet, and it's already 30 minutes in, so not really sure if he's gonna get it in a timely fashion to actually get value off of it. There's a heart though on Centaur. Maledict cuts through that pretty well. June walking under sentry, but no regular vision there. This smoke most likely going to be blown by Sepp, as it is going to be as well flyby in the area. June. Oh, if he gets a little bit closer, he'll blow the smoke, and they see in July. Smoke blown, and June has full vision right now. They're going to back off. Shade is in the front though. He has a BKB. You can bet he's just waiting for the Centaur to jump on him to pop that BKB. And there it is, the Tornado instead, actually. That's good, too. Stuck in the Ice Wall with the Impale there as well. Hart doing quite a bit here, but he's now out of mana. The Centaur can't even stampede out of here. They're going to jump into the backline at the exact same time. With the Chaotic Offering, they'll be slowed down a little bit. Cicada dropped down very low. Gets a BKB off, but again, the damage from the Lina doesn't seem like it's necessarily enough. She's on the run at all times. They've already lost 2. They're probably going to lose Cicada as well. Sunstrike off the mark, but the jump in from Flyby will get them another kill. Sepp, slowed down by the Diffusal Blade, will get locked down by the Weaver. Ready to use the time lapse, is in a lot of trouble. Another Maledict will secure the kill. In a 4-for-2 exchange, CDEC clean house, absorb all the ultimates, manage the Centaur perfectly. They had full vision, and iG.V thought they were still fine. The Centaur should have known that they were spotted, because his smoke broke, obviously. But Shade was just waiting for it. I didn't expect Tornado to be the response, but hey, whatever works, right? That EMP also landing on the Centaur. As a Centaur with no mana, no Force Staff, nothing you can do about that except for sit in the Ice Wall and await your fate. And the Raxes will be claimed. Got him. Yeah, punch him. Shade will take both. And that'll be CDEC winning a huge fight off of a botched initiation from iG.V. And taking a tier 3 to open up the shrines. And of course those 2 racks. Oh, Cicada. He TP'd in. He does not have a gem. So this is June stalking some targets. Sepp is in the area as well. Cicada almost accidentally hitting June there. They're looking for dogfights. And they're looking for Cicada. If they can find her with the True Sight, they are going to force a BKB out. Force Staff will dodge the LSA. Cicada still in a little bit of trouble. Is going to Laguna Blade June. That doesn't do enough damage. So Laguna Blade now down. Paparazzi has arrived. Although we'll get chained down immediately. Sepp still has that lasso. No real easy targets there, so we forced to back out. Potentially big opportunity from CDEC going to waste. But no casualties. Almost level 25 on that Invoker. Rapid Fire Tornado. Really would be insane here. Paparazzi is going to be spotted by Forge Spirits. Does he have a Lincoln's? No. BKB. Doesn't help you much against this lasso. CDC aren't really the greatest at taking Roche. They are really good at finding teams that want to take Roche, though. They're just trying to protect Cicada. They know that if any one hero goes off on their own, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Flyby. Shiva's guard, Maelstrom, has an absolute crap ton of armor, but the Stampede is there. Shade pops a BKB. They once again read this. The Chaotic Offering does drop, so does the Overgrowth, but Shade gets a nice deafening blast off onto pretty much everyone. They last out the lead, and no damage coming out from her as Flyby jumps right into the middle of everything. Sleight of Fist doing a lot of damage. They'll drop down the Witch Doctor of all heroes with that Laguna Blade, but they'll also somehow take down the Invoker. Paparazzi was dealing with him in the background. Now the Ember Spirit in the middle of everything is in a lot of trouble. We'll get, once again, Sleight of Fist, try to get away through the trees, but I don't think it's happening. It's a 4-kill for iG.V. They only lose the Treant. And that is going to be the difference between Paparazzi being in the middle of the fight and being on the edge of the fight. The Invoker got hit with the Overgrowth, yes, through the BKB. It's kind of inconvenient, but it happens. You can't avoid it. But he was not able to get distance enough to actually start firing off those spells. Both the Invoker and the Ember do not have buyback, and now their mid lane is looking pretty rough. Tower is going to be dealt with pretty quickly. Paparazzi's DPS is insane. They jump in, stomp onto the Nyx Assassin. Shrine's active. June will get slowed down a little bit by the Overgrowth. So will the Batrider, trying to initiate on the Lina. Not even going to do any damage there. The Centaur Warrunner is just be chilling with that return aura, return effect. And this is going to be racks for racks. iG.V getting a huge break there off of that fight. And that's what I'm talking about with these BKBs and pipes. There is a pipe on the team, there's a Glimmer, double BKB on the Lina and the Weaver. Once that happens, the amount of damage from the Ember and the Invoker tends to drop. That one up. CDEC though jumping in, Impale onto 3, but Paparazzi still gets the Aegis at the end, even though it's the Dire that kills it off. They blast down one, and now looking for a little bit more. Sep caught by the Purge will also die. Paparazzi looking for a little bit more, will get chained down. They need to stun up a couple more times, but not gonna happen. Time lapse is added there. Now the Lina looking at Shade, another Dragon Slave and an Overgrowth. They see him through the Ghost Walk, jump in from the Ember, gets 2 kills, but one's an Aegis. He will still survive for a little while longer, but Paparazzi's back. He'll purge him up, and Flyby has no remnants, therefore no hope. Triple kill for Cicada. Paparazzi still alive, and CDEC once again lose 2 heroes. Batrider's back, but Batrider can't do anything against this. If he tries, he's gonna get purged immediately if he blinks in, or stomped, or something. He's gonna get slowed down. And in July, he has the heart. He's maybe gonna get pulled in towards the fountain, not quite far enough. Death Ward is there, but Demons is not gonna last long up against this Weaver's damage. In July's like, screw you, buddy. Just gonna double edge him in the face. Nyx Assassin may be back here, but CDEC, I think this is what they call a thrown game. With 15k, 20k in the lead, end up watching 2 subsequent team fights and end up losing the game. This is definitely not the end result of this game that I was expecting, but a win is a win. iG.V snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. And what's hilarious to me is that the 5-minute delay on the stream is in such a way where CDEC are really far ahead still, and IG are really far behind. But here we are, iG.Vitality victory. That means that CDEC are going to drop down to losers, play eHome Keen. Should be happening after about a 10-minute break. Guys, I'm Mike Loris. It's been a pleasure casting this first best of 3 out of 3 of the day. And we will follow CDEC as I got moved to another lobby. I didn't know that was a thing. Apparently, this guy is just like my handler now. Okay, but I'll be right back for the next best of 3, guys. If you enjoyed it, stick around. Follow me on Twitter at Mike Loris, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit.